You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, CBS soap opera fans. This is Soap Dirt on YouTube, and we have got your latest Young and the Restless daily spoilers for the week ahead, May 15th through 19th, 2023. There's so much to unpack. If you haven't already, reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our updates on casting, spoilers, everything you need to know about Young and the Restless. Now let's dig in. Monday, May 15th on Y&R, it's season 50, episode 157. Sally Spectra thought long and hard about it and decides to tell Adam Newman no to his job offer. While he thinks Nick is the reason she turned it down, she insists that's not true. But considering the tantrum that Nick threw next week, maybe not. Also, Elena Dawson tells Nick Newman about her split from Nate Hastings, and of course he feels kind of bad because he knew there was something going on and he kind of only halfway warned her. Also, after that conversation, Nick heads back to see Sally and he tells her he loves her. Did anybody see that coming? He also says nothing will take him away from her. However, that's not true and it's all going to change soon. Also, Daniel, Kyle, Jack, and Michael get together and talk about their next move because now that the four guys all are in the know that Phyllis is alive, they have to figure what to do to get Diane out of the scrape she's in, but also to figure out what to do about Phyllis. Then it's Tuesday, May 16th on Young and the Restless, season 50, episode 158. We're going to see Victor Newman antagonizing Jack Abbott. No doubt Victor is going to say some nasty things to Jack about why would you get involved with that woman? She hasn't changed, blah, 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 and now she's killed Phyllis, blah, blah, blah. The big question is whether Jack will lose his temper to the extent that he actually tells Victor that Phyllis is alive. That'd be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? Also on Tuesday, Chelsea Lawson turns to Billy Abbott for support. My speculation about this specific spoiler is that it has to do with Chelsea's son, Connor Newman, who seems to be really chafing at the idea of having a baby sister with his dad's ex, Sally Spectra, and he's just not handling it well. Already this past week, the week from ended on the 12th, we saw Billy kind of taking Connor in hand and pulling him aside, and he was making some progress with him until Johnny came out, and then Connor got annoyed at Johnny. So Connor's just not loving the idea of siblings right now, but Chelsea's going to lean on Billy, and this is interesting to see him dating Chelsea, coexisting with Adam. It's a new era in Genoa City. Also, Summer Newman keeps up her behavior on Young and the Restless. She knows that Diane Jenkins is innocent, yet she keeps being nasty and trying to blame all this on her when it's her mother's fault. But Summer's going to keep on. I think she's going to keep on doing this until she's confronted by the others who know the truth, and then all heck is going to break loose in her marriage. But she's going to keep on next week. Then it's Wednesday, May 17th on Young and the Restless, episode 159 of season 50. And we are going to see Ashley Abbott acting out and being her charming self towards Diane Jenkins. Ashley is still of the mindset that Diane should never have come back. She is fully certain that Diane is guilty of killing Phyllis. Even when Phyllis comes back to life to where the rest of people in Genoa City know it, I still doubt that Ashley is going to be any kinder to Diane for a lot of reasons, one of which is Tucker McCall. If you were watching way back in the day, Tucker and Diane were sleeping together. She was one of the many women that Tucker cheated with. Ashley seems to want to blame the women, but it's strictly Tucker to blame. But we're going to see more of Ashley's nastiness toward Diane when we hit midweek on Y&R. We are also going to see that Lauren Fenmore decides to take a matter into her own hands. We have to wonder, there's really only two things this could be about. One, it could be about the proposed line that Sally had been trying to pitch to Fenmore's. So remember, Jill got the meeting canceled when Victor called her to sabotage Sally. That was a couple of months ago, I think. So maybe Lauren has rethought things and is going to ignore Jill and go straight to Sally about it, which would be great because Sally has just turned down that job offer. Otherwise, it might be to do with Michael Baldwin because there's a new spoilers photo coming for the week. It's only in Soap Digest. It's nowhere else, but it's a scene with Lauren and Michael out at Society, I believe, and she's looking miffed. He probably isn't going to tell her yet that Phyllis is alive. However, if he does tell her that Phyllis is alive, then it might be a Lauren who tries, maybe there's something she takes into her own hands is trying to find Phyllis. He may tell her so that she stops being such a big bee about him representing Diane Jenkins, or it could be, the spoiler could be that Michael is still insisting that she's innocent and maybe Lauren decides to try and work against him. We'll have to wait and see, but it certainly sounds good. Then on Young and the Restless on Thursday, May 18th, Sharon Newman has a moment of deja vu. This leads directly into, and that's the only spoiler for Thursday so far, kind of bizarre, Then Friday, May 19th has a related spoiler. That's Young and the Restless, season 50, episode 161. Related back to Sharon having a moment of deja vu, on Friday, she gets a gift from a mystery sender. If you don't remember, you can look back at our May Sweeps spoiler video. It's in the Young and the Restless playlist. But just to remind you, there was a whole thing in May Sweeps about how Nick was going to be pulled away from Sally because of something to do with Sharon. And this kicks off at the end of this coming week. Now, he's just told Sally, I love you. And he said, nothing is going to take me away from you and the baby. And she said, do you promise? This happens on Monday. And he says, yes, I promise. Well, he's about to be a big old liar because something is going on with Sharon. It's some kind of blast from her past. And he has got to be there for Sharon. We had wondered when we first heard this spoiler if it was going to be a medical crisis and that maybe, her cancer would be back and she would need him because she doesn't have her husband now. But it looks like it's going to be something else entirely. And in fact, Nick is going to step closer to Sharon. And then Sally on Monday completely shuts Adam down and basically sings him that Taylor Swift song, We Are Never, Ever, Never Getting Back Together, something like that. And so this could change everything. Also on Friday, Victor Newman tries to rein Nick in, and knowing Nick, he will not like that. I'm sure Victor doesn't want him near Nick. Nick might even tell him, I told Sally I loved her. Victor's going to lose it. Should be a lot of fun. Also, as the week closes, Tucker McCall tries to make amends with Abby Newman. We'll talk about that in just a second. If you haven't already, reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates for your favorite CBS soap. Now back to Tucker trying to make amends with Abby. I don't know if you remember when Tucker was last on the show, that was when Stephen Nichols played the role, and Tucker was a flagrant and frequent cheater. He betrayed Ashley 12 ways to Sunday, and Abby hated it. She really hated it. She wanted him out of her mom's life. She did everything she could to discredit him to make it happen, and then one night she was driving late. I can't remember if she had been drinking. She might have been drinking. I cannot remember. But anyway, she ran over Tucker. She didn't really do it on purpose. It was more like she shouldn't have been driving, and then Tucker kind of stepped out and she ran him down. And I think he was in a coma. He might have almost died. It's been a long time ago. And Ashley lied and said she was driving to cover for Abby. So there's a lot there. And not that Tucker deserved to be run over, but he definitely did her mom dirty, and Abby hated him for it, and she is certain he is back to it. So there's a lot to unpack there, and she does not like him living at the Abbott mansion, but I don't think her mom's going to listen, and Tucker doesn't listen to anybody but Tucker. That's the bottom line with him, right? There's a lot to see on Young and the Restless, May 15th through 19th.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.